Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the NFL has announced a doubleheader for December 20th that will be on Fox. And this is going to be a Saturday doubleheader that we'll see on December 20th between two division rivals. Actually, yeah, two division rivals, four division rivals and two division rival games. So Washington Commanders versus Philadelphia Eagles and Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers is a doubleheader we are going to see on December 20th, Saturday football. And also, this is the first announcement of NFL games that have been announced outside of the opening game. This morning it was on the Today Show, Mike Tirico announcing that the Philadelphia Eagles would be hosting the Dallas Cowboys for the opening night game. We knew that other games would get announced after that. These are the first games to be announced after that. And it's the Commanders, Eagles, Bears, Packers. Here's the thing I will say with the the Commanders, Eagles. Not surprised at all that you're going to see a late matchup between these two teams. I talked about in the video where I talked about the Cowboys, Eagles. I talked about how why the Cowboys, and talked about the potential teams that could have been better instead of the Cowboys. And I threw out the Lions, and I said, well, maybe not the Lions because they just were a visiting team on opening night a couple years ago. Rams, I thought maybe the Rams could have been a better option than the Cowboys potentially. Who knows? But and then I thought about the Commanders, and I said this in the video where I talked about the Cowboys-Eagles opening night game. The Commanders-Eagles, it seems like that is a better matchup to see those two games. The Commanders-Eagles game that will be in Philadelphia and the Commanders-Eagles game that will be in Washington, to see those games later in the season. In November, December is what I said. Now we're going to see this game December 20th. I think it was pretty funny that was announced a little bit after I said that. And, these are the two teams, the Eagles and the Commanders, that I think you look at it, they should be the favorites in the division. Here's the thing I'm predicting right now. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants are going to be a lot better this year. I think the Giants and Cowboys are both going to be much better than they were last year. I think the Cowboys can go from being 8-9 to potentially being 9 or 10 wins this year and potentially being a 6 or 7 seed. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to go far in the playoffs. I think they probably lose in the first round, but I think that's still much better than they were last year. And I think the Giants could go from, hey, maybe potentially, they were 4 or 5 wins last year, could go to me, I think the Giants could go to potentially, I would say they could go to 6 to 8 wins, which would be, I would say 7 or 8 wins. If Russell Wilson's the starter the whole year, I think if Malik Nabers stays healthy, the Giants defense looks good. I'm gonna say they can get 7 or 8 wins, which is much better than last year. So, but this is I think this is a much improved division. I think the Cowboys and Giants are improved. And will be better next season with Dallas and New York. But to me, just my opinion, I'd still think that, I think that Philadelphia is the best team in this division, and Washington is the second best in this division. And if those two teams are gonna, I think it could be next year where there is a closer fight in the division. Last year was the Eagles kind of had an easy way out at the end of the year, and the division was theirs to win. I think it could be a closer battle next year, and if it is, then those late matchups between Washington and Philly can be good. And then for Green Bay and Chicago, I think this should be a fun matchup to see. It's a new era of Packers versus Bears football, and we saw some good matchups between these two teams last year, and I'm excited to see what we could potentially see with these two teams. And that will be interesting. The thing I will say with it is that I think that I would say that this Packers and Bears, these two Packers and Bears team, these two teams that we're going to see in this division, I don't see either one of them winning the North, but to me, I think Detroit's probably still good enough to win the North, and this is not a shot to the Vikings. I just don't see them as the third or second best team in this division anymore. I think the Bears are probably improved to the point where they can maybe be that third best team in the division, and then the Packers can be the second potentially. The Vikings have a solid team. I really like the Vikings, but I think it could be hard with a rookie quarterback in JJ McCarthy. Well, he's going to be a second-year quarterback, but his first year playing, that could be hard. I think that the Bears and the Packers have potential to be the second and third best teams in this division. Look, you never know. Last year, that was what everyone thought. Everyone last year thought that Detroit would be the number one team in the division, and the Packers and Bears would be right behind them, and then the Vikings would be at fourth, and everybody was wrong. The Vikings almost won the division and was second place, so who knows what could happen, but I just think that the Packers and Bears are the second and third best teams in the North this year, and there could be a battle between that second spot in the North, and we'll see what that, December 20th matchup holds for these two teams. But that's really it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the matchups in the comment section, and peace out.